Hi, welcome to Conservative Apologetics. Now, it's been a while since I've done anything. I've been busy, been on vacation, been traveling, so it's been kind of a crazy time period for me, but I'm back, and I'm back at a time that I think is important. Our government is giving up everything that makes this country great. The headline this morning is Obama's going to scrap the missile shield in Eastern Europe. Now, they quoted, Reuters and the AP quoted a bunch of folks going, oh, this is great, we didn't want it in our homeland anyway, and then they identify them as socialist Democrats. You know, of course, they're liberals, they're leftists, they're socialists. They don't want something like a missile defense system in their country. I mean, they're liberals. They don't believe in that kind of stuff. I think this is just another example of how dangerous the Obama administration is. How dangerous it is to our country, how dangerous it is to our allies, and how dangerous it is to the world. You know, Reagan won the Cold War by out-defensing, if you will, building stronger defenses than the Russians could keep up with and the Soviets could keep up with. And that's how we won the Cold War. Now, what's Obama doing? He's moving backwards. He's saying, oh, I want to work with the Russians in Afghanistan. I want to work with the Russians in Iran. Mr. President, are you stupid enough to really believe that the Russians are going to work with you in good faith? They fought the Taliban for, 10 years, and they couldn't win them. They couldn't beat it in Afghanistan. Finally, they withdrew. Do you really think they're going to involve themselves in that again? Do you really think they have a vested interest in keeping Iran from having a nuclear missile? Of course they don't. That's why they've said, you know what, we're not going to support any sanctions, UN sanctions against Iran. We'll veto them. You know, President Obama, you've got to wake up and start smelling some fresh air and realize the Soviets, well, did I say the Soviets? I meant the Russians. The Russians do not have our best interest at heart. They do not care about us. They do not, want us to be buddies with them. They don't want us to take long walks on the beach holding hands and sipping champagne. Doggone, his name just went out of my head now. But you know who I'm talking about. He doesn't want, they don't want to have long walks on the beach with you. All right? They are led by people who are former communists, KGB agents, things such as, they don't want to take long walks to the United States on the beach. And when the Prime Minister's name pops in my head again, I'll be able to say it, but you all know who I'm talking about. Then there's Nancy Pelosi, this whole Acorn mess. President Obama, you said at first Acorn was a fine organization. You worked for Acorn. You worked with Acorn. And now all of a sudden, because they're willing to give tax information and help a supposed pimp and prostitute defraud the United States government, now you're backing away from them? Suddenly now you just have this revelation of how corrupt of an organization they are? I don't buy it, Mr. President. I don't buy it. Now the Democrats, the Senate votes, 93-7 or whatever to cut off funding to Acorn. And then Nancy Pelosi goes, oh, wait, I'm clueless about this. I have no idea what's going on. They're cutting off cash? They're upset with Acorn? That is the Speaker of the House, and she doesn't even seem to know what's going on. America, do you see what's happening with our country? These people don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to run a government. All they know how to do is back up and retreat. Back up and retreat. Do you really think they're sending a signal of strength to terrorists and to the Russians and to any other would-be rogue nation by pulling back this missile defense system and just going, no, we're going to scrap it? You know what? Even if they never put it together, just talking about it, supporting it is a deterrent. But this looks like weakness. America, it's time to vote these bozos out of office. It's time to get rid of this whole shoot match of Democrats that we elected, well, not me, but America elected, and hopefully not you, but that enough people in America elected to put this guy in office. And all of these Democrats in office. It's time to get rid of Nancy Pelosi. It's time to get rid of Harry Reid. It's time to vote Barack Obama out in 2012. It's time to clean house. Get rid of this supermajority in the Senate and give back Republicans control of the Senate and the House. Let's get this country back on track. Look, I'm not saying the Republicans did everything right under Bush. They did. That prescription drug plan was a boondoggle. That first doggone bailout plan should have never occurred. But you know what? Given the choice between the two, I'd go with Republicans any time. They're going to be strong on defense. They're going to hopefully continue to support lower taxes. Republicans, you better get back to your conservative roots and start being the conservatives America wants you to be. Lower taxes, less regulation, less government interference in our lives. Get back to being what you're supposed to be as conservatives. Thanks for watching Conservative Apologetics.